We are born to make sure that the world doesn't fall apart for the rich people.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So they can have their little fucking caviar.
And then once they get to robots doing everything for them, they don't need us. So then they'll have
they'll turn us into fuck robots, and then yeah, cool, man. Whatever. Looking forward to it. You know.
Yeah.
I already look like a fuck robot.
Listen, if I was going to make a fuck robot, it would not look like you. No way I'm making it. And this is our anorexic dog you want? Yeah.
You do look kind of like C-3PO, like a little bit. Does anyone ever say that to you?
Yes.
That's fucked up.
You have to think. Dude, every time somebody tells me, has anybody ever said that to you? The answer is yes. About anything. There's no original thought. I have heard all of it.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for tuning in. The broadcast will begin shortly. This is the Raw Comedy Podcast.
Justin St. Denis.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Raw Comedy Podcast. I'm Chris Raufeisen, and joining me tonight are two of Bangkok's leading gentlemen, as always. Joining me tonight for the first time ever. Say what's up to my man Lex Morales.
Is it the first time ever? You don't count the other times?
No, it's not. I don't.
He literally did the first one.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll ever be able to see that. So the first version, I guess, the first syndication of
whatever this version is.
What does syndication mean? I don't know.
We only did one other one like this too.
Yeah. I'm just gonna start over.
You can still use it. I'm
gonna start over.
I think this is great. Your failure is amazing. It's perfect.
All right, let's keep it going then. And then, of course, to my right, we got Mr. Ric Diez here.
Yes.
A joke writing machine. And,
welcome back.
I write a lot of
long-standing, member of this podcast.
Yeah, I'm a pillar of the bombing community.
Yeah.
I would call Rick is a treasure of the community, no doubt.
Yeah, we need people to bomb to remind us of what not to do. Have you ever thought about if you died, how you want your funeral to go?
Yeah, I have thought about this actually. You want to go first?
Well, mine is pretty quick. Well, it's always, once you find out about a Viking funeral, that sounds just great. Right? But then pragmatically, I think that you wouldn't be able to just put a body and let it float out, right? So I was like, all right, you guys could cremate me and put me in an urn and then push me off. And I would like somebody to shoot an arrow at it and set it on fire and put some shit on there that you want me to have on the afterlife.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah. And then I want also, and I actually still have a life insurance policy of like 15 grand. It's something stupid cheap, but like it already paid for. So I want that. I want to have a party. They should have a party. Like I want it to celebration.
I want to be burned on a pile of money.
Who should be invited?
Who would be invited?
Yeah.
Trump. Oh, I'd love if Trump. Just like all right wingers.
I would make everyone.
I would want everyone to come. I don't know.
I would make everyone I talk to. I would make the funeral somewhere kind of inconvenient to go to.
Okay.
Just because just one last big move. One last fucking big move. Just like at the top of this hill. But I like the funeral pyre idea. I love that. I would love to be on a pyre like with my arms crossed,
like Darth Vader,
with fucking 2 coins on my eyes and a sword. Going like I want to be buried like fucking like Aragorn, like burned, but like the way the tomb looks in fucking Lord of the Rings, or any whatever, like a knight, basically.
Some warrior
shit, right? And then if it's a stack, dude, if it's a huge pyre, like 20 feet high.
Why? Why does it have to be that high?
Because just fucking.
You already made us
go. Because it's my funeral.
You made us drive so long to get there.
It's my funeral.
It made it really hard.
And then afterwards, everyone has to snort my ashes. Like cocaine. Everyone's got to do one rail of my ashes.
So I'll always be a part of you.
So exactly. Or maybe afterwards we have a party, like in a reception area, and everyone has like a free bar and drinks and drugs, and everyone can dance. And then halfway, just ash, just.
I'd like to get a dozen Hooter girls to just be there, handing out pints of beer to everybody for no reason.
Yeah.
And shitty tasting wings.
Maybe like someone comes up, maybe Lex will come out with like a leaf blower and then my ashes, and then just blow the ash at everyone's face. And
that would be kind of fun.
That'd be pretty cool.
What about you, Rick?
What's your grand idea?
One thing that's not a funeral, but I had this idea. It came out of a dream, and thank God I don't do drugs. Where I wanted to like have this space in the countryside, where it would be like I would buy a piece of land. The thing is, I know it's environmentally completely unfriendly. Okay, so I know why I wouldn't do it in real life. But in my dream, there was this piece of land where I would build like a concrete space, and then just some columns. No, maybe probably a roof, but then it would just be open. So it'd be like a roof, a floor, and some columns holding the thing.
It's called it's called a gazebo.
No, much bigger, much bigger, concrete.
Okay. How big are you imagining? Like Parthenon shit, like
40, bigger than 40 feet, bigger than football field.
Like the Temple of Artemisium.
You could have at least 200 people, between 200 people and 500 people standing under that.
Basketball court.
Yeah, basketball court size,
round
or square, whatever. And then it'd be in the middle of the countryside. No other house or building nearby. But there would be hidden.
Like a hidden tomb or something?
No, hidden speakers.
Okay.
And every night be lights and techno music, and you can just go there and just rave and get the fuck out. And that just space is just there for you to go rave in.
Wow.
But there's no entrance. There's no nothing. It's just there and it's just playing.
That's beautiful.
And I thought that was amazing. Of course, in practical terms, health and safety, security, people getting stabbed, parking space. It's not possible.
Yeah, homeless people.
Plus,
music, electricity.
You're altering all the nature around it or
bathrooms.
Whatever. But that was I want that space to exist and somehow just exist.
That sounds badass. That'd be amazing. To just go off and you're into the fucking.
Because the craziest, I haven't been to that many raves, but I've been to a bunch of like techno places and in shitty places. But the only rave I've been to was I was at this annual party thing in the village, and some friend was like, "This is years ago. There's no no internet or anything." I was like, "Hey, we heard there's a rave somewhere." It's like, "Where?" It's like, it's on the road from this village to that village. I hear that you should go and then turn right somewhere, and then something that, and then it's like, and we're like, it's like maybe like 3 a.m. or something. We're like, "Yeah, fuck, let's go." So it's like, let's go. I have nothing else to do. It's fucking summer. Let's go. Let's get in the car. Let's go. So we start going. Like, what the fuck is this? And then we end up in a place. Because then you start seeing, maybe we should follow that car. Maybe that car looks like he knows where he's going. Right. So you follow the car, you get to that place. It's in the middle of some vineyards.
Wow.
And then some people had built like a wall of speakers, just just a wall of speakers. And there was like 2 walls of speakers of all different types of speakers.
Wow.
And it's just a fucking rave, just like banging rave in the middle of fucking nowhere.
It's amazing.
What was funny was like we get there, and then one of my friends was like, dude. He had bought some speed and he wanted to do the speed, but he wasn't like properly packaged. So his sweat had gotten mixed into it, and he was like trying to snort the thing, but it was like it wasn't powder anymore. So it's just like it was just horrible. It was like, what the fuck is this noise? So he finishes that. We get out of the car and he starts walking, and as he's walking, he's puking. Just black liquid. Just black liquid. Just like.
It was just,
and he keeps walking. Just like.
It was his soul.
His soul was just pouring out.
Black soul.
And then I don't know. We stayed there until daytime.
That's amazing.
I miss those times.
You just stumble upon something that awesome. You know what I mean? That'd be cool as fuck, dude. You ever seen
And it was no evil. It was all goodness. It was just like this whole party.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
There was no maliciousness or nothing. No, I don't want to steal your shit. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
It's just
that's amazing.
Loads of people just uniting,
trying to have fun. That's what ecstasy does, though. When you're on ecstasy, like try stealing something when you're on MDMA. You can't. Like that doesn't belong to me. You know. I can't take something that's not mine.
First time I ever went to a rave, I was like 14, and I went by myself, and I was wearing these big like Jenko pants, like these big baggy things.
Jenko, and wide-legged pants.
And I had these like and shell top Adidas and Stussy shirt that I.
Oh, that was a whole package look.
And I was like technoed out, and and it was in this warehouse.
Yeah, spiky hair.
It's like this warehouse. Yeah, well, it was like this kind of like, but up. You know, really high, and because none of my friends listen to techno, none of my friends, and it was out in Long Island.
I love techno.
It was out on Long Island, I went to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom, and I'm like washing my hands. And behind me, over my shoulder, I look in the mirror, and behind me is a guy. The stall opens up real slowly, and he had his dick out, his full hard dick, and he had Coke on it. He's like, "You want Coke?" And I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm cool." I didn't think of how evil that was or anything, you know. And I was like,
you know what's awkward? When I was younger, when I was like 17, 18, so I thought I could message everyone something at the same. I thought I could send the same message to 20 different people on Facebook Messenger, right? By adding them to a group, right? So I no, but I'm saying like individually. So because I would message girls, so I could.
So you had a group with
I had a group with like 20 girls.
And you thought they would receive it individually.
Right, I thought the message would go out individually. And I said, and I messaged, I said, "Hey, what's up going on tonight?" And I messaged it, and then like 3 girls hit me, like responded like, "What the fuck is this?" And it was like, and I'm like, and then I realized what I had done. I'm like, "Oh, you idiot! They're all in one place so they can see. It's not you sending 20 messages out. It's all of them fucking seeing one."
I appreciate the hustle though.
Well, I was just trying to be expedient and
it's a numbers game.
Economical.
So I have a friend who did that, except he did it the proper way. So he would go on one of those websites like, what are the websites to meet people? But but websites at the time.
MySpace,
Chevrolet.
No, like more like okay, Cupid okay. Whatever those things are, like for matchmaking.
Like Plenty of Fish.
Yeah. And he would go on that, and then he would literally write the same message to about 300 girls a night.
Yeah.
Wow. And then have the same follow-up conversation, same it was just like a machine.
Yeah, a system. Yeah. Right.
And so by the end of every week, he would have tried to like talk to about 2,000 girls.
Yeah.
And it's just he was playing the numbers.
Dedication.
And it worked.
It worked.
It was just like
that's right. If you play numbers, it works. Yeah, totally. That's how I used to.
Yeah, I was me. I was your friend.
We've always done. Yeah.
I was like, how do you do that?
That was all of us. Yeah.
And I was like, can you send me like what do you send normally? He's like, yeah, like first message is this, then I follow up by this. If she says this, I follow up by that. If she writes like this, I follow up like this. And this is like, this is all like, he basically was like an Indian call center. Like he had a scenario of answers. Right. It was just like, hey, like, so I'm advertising my sexual services. Like, would you be interested? No, don't hang up. Like, please you just keep them on.
Oh my God.
And then he would end up with these crazy stories of people he would have like.
It's amazing.
He had like.
That's great.
He did it
right.
right.
For your friend. Yeah,
he did it right. And what I always thought is like.
It is a numbers game.
You know when people tell you a story and like, my God, this is so fucked up. My thought was like, if this is what he tells me, what is he not telling me? Nobody says the worst shit they do, right? So like, if this is what you're willing to tell me, because the stories were like, yes, I was fucking her, and then she asked me to pee inside her pussy.
He said that.
Yeah, and I was like, so did you do it? He was like, well, yeah. But it's like, but then my follow-up was like, what is he not telling me? What is he not telling me right now?
Yeah, right? That's so
like, what are you not telling me?
Yeah, but also, maybe I'll throw this by you,
that's hilarious.
And probably
I know I'm a clean, like, now I'm a clean
have to get it out, so he might be,
and he trusted,
but it's not like after he said that, he's like, well, now I've told you everything there is to know about
No.
He's like, no, there's
the follow-up was generally like,
much more below the surface.
Yeah, so she asked me to pee on her.
You said inner pussy.
Yeah, well, another one. And then she asked me to pee on her. And I was like, so was it awkward? Well, not so much the peeing, but yeah, the husband was watching. So this kind of stories I have to listen to. This is hilarious. Yeah, he had so many threesomes where the husband or whoever was just watching. They had the fantasy they wanted some guy to fuck the wife.
How was that a fantasy, though?
So many people.
That's a cuck.
They just won it, and then I was like, "I'm that guy,
dude.
I'll be that guy,
dude." I hope I'd never get there.
I like that you say it's not like it's
not
your
God
choice.
I just like God. I hope someone fucks
I guess it is not your choice.
Got it.
But for them, everything was completely consensual. For them, it makes sense. There's no.
Oh my God.
I think a lot of that stuff is like primal, man. Back in the day when everybody's living in one giant hut, and then like people hear other people fucking and.
All right, relax, fucking.
No, think about it, right?
Man. Yeah.
For 100,000 years, people were living
right in front of you.
I guess.
Yeah, and there was no monogamy. There was no real monogamy.
Sex tap in front of you.
Only monogamy happened in the last 7,000 years.
But dude, you know what? Maybe here's the thing. Maybe Neanderthals did get married. Maybe they buried the dead. And they had like decorations. There's like funeral rites and shit like that. Right? But it's possible. No, because dude, they were human.
But they did. There's no reason to.
And there's no reason.
There was no reason to. There was no reason to socially to have.
Right.
They only
for protection. Maybe one guy can have many wives, and like these are my wives.
No. Everybody's fucking everybody. Right. Most like maybe.
But people had
but the odds are. Let me say is just there's no reason evolutionary to do that until there was property rights.
Right, exactly. That's the thing. Neanderthals might have owned not property, but they had an idea of like my belongings. You know what I mean?
Shall we
like this is my territory from their territory. These are my people. Those are your people.
Yeah, but your people and my people. These are my people.
These are my tools.
That's my people meant.
Right.
We fuck each other, and this is the area where we fuck each other. And you can't come in here or we'll fuck you up.
But within that group of people, there's probably like a guy that I'm the hunter. I kill them. I eat them. I kill the most.
Just like a monkey,
right?
So when that guy's not around, the betas are coming in and go and fucking real quick, just like monkeys. The big guy gets to fuck whoever he wants.
That makes sense.
But the other ones, they get to fuck whenever chance they get.
So you're basically cavemen were a bunch of sneaky fucking. The beta cavemen were a bunch of sneaky guys.
Just like every other animal. Just like every other animal.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And then we evolved, and then we started, But
I'm saying like late stage, like 40,000 years ago, Neanderthals, 25,000 years ago, if they were around, maybe because that's 25,000 years on a scale. They're the oldest Neanderthal is like 300,000 years.
Most cultures, even before Neanderthals, the ones that we know of, still were not monogamous.
Yeah, it's insane.
Monogamy wasn't happening for the Bible. The Bible, all of them had kings of multiple wives. And
but not
like that.
everyone had multiple wives. There was definitely a few guys that had no wives, and a few guys that only had one. And I guarantee you, the guys with one wives, they called them fags and like pussies and stuff like that. Like, you only have one wife? What a pussy, dude. Like,
but they didn't have wives. That's what I'm saying.
We're not wife, but like one chick, one steady. You know what I mean?
Everybody, just like now.
What do you think? Back in the day, if you're a Neanderthal back in the day and you were going steady with just one chick, then you're a pussy.
Just like sometimes you see where a penguin in the Central Park Zoo, they'll be like, these guys are monogamous. Yeah. It's like, all right, well, those two are because they found people and they were like, this is how we roll.
Yeah.
And then there's one dude who's like fell in love with the penguin before and just loves watching that guy fuck that that penguin guy fuck that other penguin. And he's like, can I just sit in the corner and watch you guys fuck and I just jerk off and feel bad about myself?
You wouldn't want to see Lex bang your girlfriend in front of you?
Well, I don't have a choice, actually. I got it.
Yeah, I'm the biggest ape. I'm the biggest ape in the room.
Well, I said, you're
going to watch right now.
No,
make eye contact with me.
I can't. I couldn't. I can't even watch two strangers fucking unless it was on my phone. Honestly.
You've never seen a sex show?
No.
Sad.
Sex show?
Actually, I have, but it wasn't like a... No, I haven't seen a guy fuck a chick on stage. Never. I've seen two chicks.
I saw it. It was traumatic. I didn't know it was going to happen. It was kind of funny.
Oh, yeah, sure, Rick.
I never seen them.
It was a club I used to go to, and then they started doing like Sunday parties instead of Friday and Saturday.
What's the Sunday
and we went
party?
On Sunday, and they said it was going to be like, again, like maybe 1998. It's like oh, it's gonna be like erotic or whatever. So maybe there's gonna be strippers or like something, or some of the dancers maybe they'll show their boobs, and then but it was a normal like nightclub, right? It's like a proper nightclub with like techno music and just like dancers and like just shows with DJs and shit. And it's the same people. It's just suddenly I see like some act come out because we're sitting like where the people come out, the artists come out, standing, not sitting. And then I see this guy just pass me, looking like Conan, just like long hair, muscles, and then full-blown naked with an erection and a cock ring. And I was like,
what happened? This isn't what Sunday is.
I wasn't expecting to see this right now. And then a girl like goes behind him, and then they just start banging in the middle of the. They just start banging to the beat, just like. I was just like, what?
Is everyone watching this?
Yeah, dude, like 2,000 people are watching that.
That's amazing.
That's what's up.
Dude, Europe's so fucking retarded.
You mean awesome or retarded?
Well, it's just like that's like the primal caveman shit, like just to bang someone in front of 2,000 people.
Yeah, but it was so shocking. It was just like,
it was shocking. It's fucking like, oh,
yeah, he was he was just like, yeah, boom, boom, boom.
How does a chick feel? Do you think the chick's like, yeah, this is awesome, getting banged?
I mean, I'm assuming they're to a point. They're probably a couple that work together. They're used to working together as an act.
Right,
doing
it. Probably
it's a performance.
They have some kind of.
My understanding, most women are able to separate that, and it's their job.
Clearly, for the guy had a cock ring, so for sure he had something to help him maintain that erection.
Wow.
Yeah, because it keeps the. So I was like, fuck. So it didn't feel like. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, I was.
I remember one of the
first times I ever saw. My question is this: you're 2,000. So there's 2,000 people there.
I'm assuming. Let's say that room maybe 500.
The guy at the back of the room.
Yeah.
Could the guy at the back of the room see this guy's hog from way back?
No, but they had a jumbotron.
There's like a guy with a camera, like getting really. There's like a jumbotron. The guy's like.
There's a podium in the middle.
So he's in the middle of the room.
No, like from my angle, I couldn't really see the thing going in.
Sure.
Because he was like.
Yeah, you're watching it head on.
Not head on, just more like from the side. I wasn't really, but
sure.
Yeah, whoever was at that angle could totally see it.
There was 2,000 people in the room. So I'm just in the club.
Yeah.
Put it this way: so if someone's fucking in public.
Yeah.
All right, in front of 2,000 people, the odds are, I'd say at least 3 or 4 people were jerking off. Like, dude, this is fucking awesome.
No.
Baby.
No.
Baby.
No.
In the corner.
Maybe
maybe
one.
No, they'll jerk off when they
out of 2,000 people?
No.
That's a lot of people. Dude, if you go to a high school with 2,000 kids,
most of them,
one of those kids is jerking off in the bathroom.
No.
Guarantee it.
No, there was probably guys jerking off before they even started fucking. To
be honest,
there's 2,000 people. There's probably at least one.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude who's jerking off
right. At any given time, point in time.
No, because you're still next to other people. Like I don't know.
Maybe
it was a club.
Think about like a sports arena. How many times have dude? I know for a fact like you can get jerked off at a sports arena.
Yeah, but the thing is like,
I know for a fact.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
I know your mom too.
Do people bring blankets to fucking Bears games?
But the thing is like, if
Cubs games.
I would argue that whoever, if there was anybody jerking off, they would have jerked off whether there was that happening or not.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
You see,
they paid good money to get in the club. You know, they
I think the act had no impact on people jerking off or not jerking off. I think it was because it was more of a, to me at least, it was more of a like shock value. It's just like,
dude, how the fuck? But here's the thing, like, because like doing like fist fucking shows and these crazy fuck shows, and it's like who no one like you would still go without that, and you don't like
on that same
like you don't need like there's like you would still get a ton of people. It would still be the best club without that.
It was the best club,
right? But I'm saying without the fist fucking, the fucking show like that didn't make it the best club. But
no,
he still,
it was the best club before that.
But he still chose to just be like, hey, by the way, why don't we just do this?
Yes.
Like, I love that. I love that he just did that.
Yeah, he just kept saying how far it could go. I think he got so caught up in it.
I see.
And he was like, how far can I push this shit?
I see. Wow.
Like,
also, his friend Steve wanted to fuck a girl in front of 2,000 people.
Really wanted to fuck.
The first time I went there, I went there with a friend. My friend, he liked techno music. He was Spanish. He was like, dude, I heard this club opened in Antwerp. Like, we should go. It's like, I hear it's a huge club. It's like, oh, why not? Let's go. Because we like techno. And in Brussels, there was nothing. So we're like, let's go.
Yeah.
And we get there. We pay. They let us in. Fucking miracle. There's 2 guys with no girls at the time.
Yeah.
That shit.
Totally.
None of us particularly, especially pretty or anything.
Yeah.
So anyway, we get in. And we go to the cloakroom. It's cold. You get the coat. And then you get to the main room. And we get to the main room, and there's a stage. And there's a dancer. And there's some guy with a hose, and he's pouring water on that girl and just like wet t-shirt shit.
Wow.
And there's like 1,000 people, and the music is amazing, and I can see this girl's boobs, and I was.
Whoa.
20.
Wow.
21?
Must have been amazing.
And I was looking at my friend, we're like, I think we're coming back next week.
We're gonna come back
It's amazing. We started laughing. We had the best night of our lives. It's just like, what? It was just like, we're living this, like, we go to these little student parties, and then suddenly it's like, what? This exists?
Yeah.
It's like this. I have access to this. Like this was my life.
Right.
And now this is my life. It was just like
amazing.
This is possible, so let's do that.
Yeah, totally.
Total upgrade, immediate upgrade.
That's how I felt about porn on the internet.
Yeah. So just jacking off on at the bus station.
Before it was like Sears catalogs. I'm like, this is my life now.
Oh, this is my life now when you found porn on the internet.
This is my life.
Fuck, man.
I had cable TV.
Dude, that's so fucking funny.
You had cable?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's the Belgian
like HBO. All right, I had HBO. I remember, like, I would sneak. My house was 2 floors, and at a certain point when I was just like, we had cable, I would sneak down, and I'd
had cable?
Yeah, we had cable for like, I don't know, a month or 2 or something like that.
Right.
And then I would wake up when everybody was asleep, and I'd have to slide. I would go belly first and slide down the stairs because they creaked so much, so I'd spread the weight so I could slide.
Such a fat pervert.
It was so hard to slide down because I had a boner the whole time.
Yeah, of course. Just too excited.
I have to slide in the creek, all those jokes that you
it's
see.
Like, what's going on outside? Light on. You see a guy with a boner on the staircase.
You're like a seal sliding, just like.
It'd be like and it was it was like HBO, so you see it, or Showtime, right? So it'd just be like shitty, like softcore,
Cat House,
Red Shoe Diaries, and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, Cat House, Red Shoe Diaries.
My dad worked on Red Shoe
Diaries. Do you guys
know
who
your dad was on Red Shoe Diaries?
He worked on Red Shoe Diaries.
Oh, I thought he was on it.
Do you ever hear? Do you even know? This is she wasn't even. Dr. Ruth. Do you know who Dr. Ruth is? Do you guys know who Dr. Ruth? Do you remember? Was she in Europe? You knew of her?
Showtime?
I mean, I had some American thing shows and stuff. And
she's an American woman. She's a she was teaching sex education on television. It was like a Love Lines, but like at the beginning.
I think I remember that.
But she was so old and unsexual, and she was just really talking very like pragmatically and like clinically and stuff like that. I probably crank one out to that too, just for.
What's her name? Dr.
Ruth.
Yeah, he also worked on a bunch of Olsen twins. He did like thousands of movies involved with the Olsen twins. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Did your dad ever meet your dad met the Olsen twins?
Yeah. No,
What work did he do?
Which prop master?
Okay.
Oh, cool. What is that?
IMDb
list.
Yeah. Art department. Okay, whatever's here.
What? Deep Impact?
It was just prop.
What? Schindler's List? Dude, he was a prop master on Schindler's List?
Yeah.
Bro, you gotta fucking...
You should make a joke.
Dude, you got gold here, bro. Your dad was a prop master on Schindler's List.
I have the he gave me the
red dress?
No. That would be wardrobe. No,
all the ashes.
No, he has a bunch of shit. He has a bunch of stuff.
Fake ashes of
He was a prop master? What the fuck? Yo, how did your dad become... So he met Spielberg?
Yeah.
Dude, that's amazing. He was a prop master on Schindler's List.
No, but I mean, people
so he had to like...
People every day he had to make fake
ashes. He had to make fake fucking ashes.
He was the guy that would...
That doesn't look realistic enough.
Wow, that's amazing. Dude, how many actors were in that movie?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ. Because it was like, to make it look so real and like, because it was just a massive movie that had so many people constantly in the movie. And you had like the kids. Oh my god!
I love Louis C.K.'s bit about. But the thing is, how can I do a bit about Schindler's List if Louis C.K. has done the bit about the girl with the red dress, dude?
But here's the thing: you're attacking it differently. Plus, you have a different personal connection with the movie because your father worked on it.
Yeah, that's what's giving.
Right? Yeah. And it's a movie. It's he's not the only one that's seen the movie. We can all talk about it.
Yeah, but the thing, I don't have the chops to address anything like that now.
Well, not right now.
I just
don't
know
that. Just keep it in the bank. But you have a gold. You have a.
And you can also use it as practice to see what you can do with it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I like about. But the thing I like about Grand Theft Auto is you can just murder people, and I find that hilarious. The idea that you can walk on the street and see someone be like, "Hey, you!" just out of the blue is so satisfying. It's just so like, oh yes.
I don't know why I'm friends with you. See, I never think about murdering anybody, but I do think about killing. I have thought about killing myself when I was younger, and it's not the same thing. But isn't that funny? Everybody worries about when you say, "Oh, I thought about killing myself." Everybody's like, "What?" They're like, "Oh, I thought about killing people." But if you had a video game about suicide, you just kill yourself.
How many ways can you kill yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm rated A for fucking awesome. Rated G for genius.
But I had an obvious but profound realization in terms of how it affected me recently, which is
what's that?
I'm killing myself just really slowly.
Yeah.
So since I'm gonna die anyway, why do I need to accelerate it? It's just no point. Because any single time that I'm kind of surviving, I have a shot at experiencing something.
Yes.
You don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna die anyway. So anyway, and when I die, I'll be dead for so long that my life will be so short in comparison that the fact that my suffering feels long now is meaningless. So I can't endure it for longer.
That's kind of a genius way to think about it, actually.
Yeah,
right.
It's interesting.
Names are a relatively new concept if you think about time.
Yeah.
Like that, names have only been around for a couple thousand years if you think about it. So like it's like and Homo sapiens have been around for according to the fossil record 300,000 years. So I mean, names. Do you think there were names back in the day? Like, what do you call yourself?
Are we recording right now?
This is recording.
Oh, it is?
It's been recording since before you were talking about suicide. Okay. And the suicide game. As soon as you said suicide game,
make it a suicide game.
I just click play, hit record. That's all right. This will be the real.
But that's a good point, right? So you have these super violent games where you can kill thousands of people, but you can't shoot yourself.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, that's immoral.
Wow.
Why would it be more immoral to kill yourself than 1,000 other people? At least you're taking responsibility for your own shit.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's an amazing thought. I've never even come across that. Well, actually, you can. Like in Call of Duty, you can like blow yourself up or like smash a Molotov on the ground.
Accidentally.
Right.
But nobody. But you can't like. It's not your mission.
Right.
It's not your mission to kill yourself.
You're saying there's a game where you kill yourself? What if there's a game about who can kill themselves the fastest? And like that's like the fucking. Like you're just in an open world, and then you get time to kill yourself.
But they have to make it hard for you to die. Like somehow you have a lot of health, and you're very resistant. You're incredibly strong. That's amazing. Like you're Superman, and you're trying to die.
All right.
That is an amazing.
All right. I'll throw this by you. You're God's son. And you put yourself in a simulation where you come down to Earth, where you have to save mankind, and you got to kill yourself. I mean, that's what Jesus came down to Earth to do: is kill himself.
Basically,
Jesus came down to kill himself.
But he didn't know that until he was older, didn't he?
Yeah, somewhere on there. I think like 30, right? When he went to the
how shitty is that got to be when he finds out? You know?
Yeah.
It's like fuck.
Sacrificial lamb.
But a quick question. So, because you know about religion.
Yes.
If Jesus died for our sins,
yes,
does that mean if we stop sinning, we make his death irrelevant?
Yeah, that's why they need.
So we need to continue sinning.
Yes.
So the only path to heaven, to give value to Jesus, is to be a sinner.
To sin in the redemption.
Otherwise, you're being disrespectful to Jesus.
They're saying you're already born. You're already born with sin. That's what Adam. Once Adam.
Natural sin.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're born with natural sin.
Original sin.
Original sin. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Is that the name of a movie too? With Ben Affleck or some shit. Original sin.
Yeah.
With like Catherine Zeta-Jones and George Clooney or some shit. Some kind of love comedy thing.
Did you guys think Catherine Zeta-Jones is
the hottest chick of my
I didn't think she was that hot.
Dude,
in Zorro?
Dude, remember, give me a high five.
Yeah, we talked.
Remember in Zorro?
Let's not high five again,
in Zorro, when Antonio Banderas cut her dress and she's just standing there with the fucking hair covered in tits. Like I jerked off to that. Like,
I have no doubt.
That was like
I
the second
think she
or third.
Was that hot.
That's like the third thing
I thought she was smoking.
Did you see Desperado?
Even though
did you think? Wouldn't you put Salma Hayek above?
Yes.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yes, easily.
Yeah. She's tanner. That's why I think.
That's why. Yeah. I think. But Catherine Zeta-Jones in Zorro was super. Hayek. That was her.
Would you pick Catherine Zeta-Jones or Salma Hayek?
Salma Hayek.
Yeah, me too.
She's in my top 2.
Oh, that's such a tough choice. They're both so.
To me, Salma Hayek is a perfect version of a Hispanic woman, Latino woman.
I like Catherine Zeta-Jones because she's not too Hispanic.
She's not. She's not Hispanic at all.
What? She's not? No, I thought she was. She's like British, bro. Oh, I thought she was like, dude. Ever since because she was in Zorro, I just assumed she was fucking Spanish. Dude, that's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah.
What?
So
are you shitting me?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Are you doing some racial profiling?
No, I swear to God. I thought she was like Spanish descent.
Maybe she is though. Maybe there is something about her being Spanish.
Right.
I kind of have some vague memory about it. But we've decided. Oh, by this way, we've decided we don't Google shit on this show.
Oh, nice. Are we getting out of the?
There's no
fact
checking.
No fact checking. All right.
How is Zeta-Jones? So Zeta-Jones is Mexican. That's cool. What kind of name is that? That's amazing.
She's not Mexican. Catherine Zeta-Jones is not Mexican.
Because Zeta sounds like
she's British.
Right. She's British.
She's British.
She has a British accent.
Yes.
Camera. Are you shitting me?
No.
Since when?
Since she was born. Since she learned how to speak
Since she was born,
English.
since she fucking started speaking.
Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
No.
Oh my god, I had no idea. Dude, I thought she was fucking Hispanic.
No. Well, that's because probably the first time you saw her or noticed her was in Zorro.
Yeah, exactly.
She probably was doing some Hispanic accent.
She's been anchored as being the son of Anthony Hopkins, who's also not Spanish, but in Zorro. But I know he's not. But I know he's not fucking Spanish. I know
you saw him before.
But I know he's British.
Whatever Chris sees you first do is what you do all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. But actually, that probably happens with actors all the time, right?
Yeah, it makes total sense.
I've confused a lot of actors for being one thing. I can't think of a concrete example right now, but it's pretty common.
I know if I see an actor and like the first time I see him, I like him. Then I'm like a fan of his forever, almost.
Yeah.
You know,
same for me.
Ben Affleck, Ryan. We were talking about Ryan Reynolds.
When did you first? Yeah, Ryan Reynolds was great. I saw him in Van Wilder, which hooked me as a young adolescent boy.
I saw Ryan Reynolds in a TV show called Two Guys, a Girl, in a Pizza Place.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And it was really funny. It was real, and then they cut it down to Two Guys, a Girl, and it just never got to just do. Nobody else made it, I don't think, but it's a really good show.
It was okay, but I remember one of my very good friends was like, "You have to watch Van Wilder. You have to watch it."
Yeah, Van Wilder, dude.
And
I had no idea it was that.
That was my introduction to Ryan Reynolds.
Ben Affleck for me was in Kevin Smith movie. I think it was like Clerks or not Clerks. It was in Mallrats. Chasing Amy. No, but it was Mallrats first.
Yeah, it was Mallrats.
It was a fat guy.
What was he in Mallrats?
He was this fat guy. He
was a boyfriend. He was the asshole boyfriend.
Right. They pulled him in the back.
Who likes to have sex in uncomfortable places.
Yeah. He was an ass fucking.
Like what? Like the backseat of a Volkswagen? That's the running joke.
But I saw
and that's where I lost my virginity. The backseat of a Volkswagen.
I saw him, and like right around that same time, I think Good Will Hunting came out. Like not far, but far after that.
Good Will Hunting was awesome,
and that was amazing. And
I remember my first Ben Affleck movie.
And then they went to they won the Oscar for Best Screenplay with Robin Williams. Also won Best supporting role or something like that.
Yeah, supporting actor.
It was probably the first time I ever cried.
I've seen Good Will Hunting like 10 or 20 times. I just love that.
Him and Matt Damon were in that.
What?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
they wrote it together.
He was the friend. He was the fucking
Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
I forgot he was in that. That's so crazy.
Because he just plays a friend.
Yeah. But he's the guy that says, "How you like them apples?" So fucking.
No, that's Matt Damon too.
No, but he says that to fucking Ben Affleck.
No, he says it to some other dude.
Oh really? Dude, I'm fucked right now.
But I saw Chasing Amy at the cinema.
Yeah.
Well, I saw Clerks at the cinema as well. It doesn't matter. But because at the time, when Chasing Amy came out, it was really something special to have a movie about
lesbians.
About lesbians that wasn't painting it was
a different story.
Yeah, but it was treating them as a serious character instead of being like this like kind of oddball weird thing. It was just like, no, this is a person that has a life and like look like they're treated normally. Mm-hmm. I was pretty. But then there was the friend of Ben Affleck, the skater guy. I forget his
black
name.
Guy. The African military.
No. He's done a bunch of movies as well for Kevin Smith. The
skater dude. Jason Lee.
Yeah, Jason Lee. Yeah. And he was like just asking, so when you masturbate. It's something about like masturbating in front of the mirror. Like, do you think about yourself when you masturbate or something like that?
Yeah, of course. But that's what I mean. And I think in hindsight now too, I'm sure people, especially lesbians, have a real problem with it. I know that was one of the things because it was all about like a straight, trying to turn a girl straight, right?
Yeah, but still, as a straight person, I thought it was like good.
Well, I think at the time it was that's what's annoying is now in hindsight they could attack it, and maybe in the moment there might have been too. But you also need those kind of things to progress the story,
push the conversation.
I can see how lesbians could be offended by this idea that somebody's trying to turn them or whatever. But first of all, now we're past that because there's gender fluidity and you don't know and you have feelings and love. And she loves this guy, but she's also conflicted and that's legitimate. But the other thing was like, oh no, like this is a compelling character.
Yes.
It makes me take them seriously instead of being a piece of shit.
Yeah. And also to the point of like you saying Jason Lee talking about saying something so we could say
but he's asking those ignorant questions, but that's what you think.
And that's why it's fun. Yeah. That's why he put it, because he knows it's an ignorant question.
Yes.
And that's what they should recognize. It wasn't a sincere, it might have been a sincere question for that character, but the writing of it is highlighting ignorant people. Yeah. And some people lose that. It's so frustrating. No. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's there. Bullshit. We are born to make sure that the world doesn't fall apart for the rich people.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So they can have their little fucking caviar.
And then once they get to robots doing everything for them, they don't need it. So then they'll have
they'll turn us into fuck robots, and then yeah. Cool, man. Whatever. Looking forward to it. You know.
Yeah.
I already look like a fuck robot.
Yeah, you already look like that. Listen, if I was going to make a fuck robot, it would not look like you. No way I'm making it. And this is our anorexic dog you want? Yeah.
You do look kind of like C-3PO, like a little bit. Does anyone ever say that to you?
Yes.
It's fucked up.
You have to think. Dude, every time somebody tells me, has anybody ever said that to you? The answer is yes. About anything. There's no original thought. I have heard all of it.
Yeah, of course.
Me
too. I've heard everything.
Before we started talking, we were talking about Highlander. Can we talk about
what is
Highlander?
Highlander is one of my top movies ever.
It's just a great concept.
Is it about Scotland?
It's amazing.
Well, yeah, the main character is from Scotland. But I don't know the hell. I can't remember the
Kurgan.
Yeah, so what were they aliens? They weren't aliens, right? But the concept was that there's a whole bunch of different people who are immortals throughout the world.
Wow.
And you have to kill every one of them. And the only way you can kill them is by chopping their head off.
No, but yeah.
You shitting me?
No.
Where is this show?
No.
Are you serious?
So they're drawn to each other for a thing called the quickening.
Yeah.
And then you can win the ultimate prize, which is mortality. You can age, finally. So these people have been alive, just fucking exhausted of being alive.
Oh, wow.
And they can't age.
But there's also power.
And they can't have kids.
Yeah, they can't have kids.
What?
They're watching your friends. So the first time you die, you find out you become one of these things. Like, so this guy dies, and then he comes back, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
And his tribe throws him out because they think he's a fucking devil or something.
Scottish guy?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Because he's from the Highlands, so they call him the Highlander.
Highlander, right? Well, yeah.
Highlander.
Yeah, and then you get called, you get drawn to him, and then all of a sudden you have like this spidey sense of like somebody's around that's going to cut my head off, and then you're like, and they're all walking around with swords. So they have like old Asian, like in the TV. They made a TV show that was later on.
I was obsessed with the bad guy. To me, he's the most amazing looking bad guy ever to this day.
It was a couple close calls. So he had his neck was scarred and stapled, like not because they cut his neck but not off. You know, so he made it through and killed the other.
And he didn't die.
So he just had staples.
Dude, what the
and then he like shaved his head and he was just all like punk and like he has a fucking face, that guy. He's done it. He's still acting.
The quickening though, now that I remember it, is when you kill the guy and all of a sudden it's like, oh, and everything blows up, and that was nice in the TV show. Every episode would end with him chopping some guy's head off and then being like, oh, and then all the electricity would pop, pop, pop. Everything would blow up.
Every piece of glass just
shatter, and he'd be like, oh, and he'd collect that guy's power. But while he's collecting it, he'd be a little overwhelmed or exhausted. So there'd be other highlight in the TV show. Other people
waiting for them.
Yeah, would just wait for these two guys who were really strong to fight, and then he'd go. One guy would lose, and the other guy would be exhausted, tired, and just get the quickening, and then he'd run in and try to cut off the other guy's head.
Are you serious? Dude, what the fuck?
Dude, I knew you'd love it. It's a good show. They just run around trying to cut each other's heads off.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Who wrote this?
Yeah, but the first
probably some Scottish guy.
So I rewatched the first one not long ago. The special effects of the quickening are terrible.
Yes.
But the whole story is great. The bad guy is great. Sean Connery is amazing.
Yeah. Who's Sean Connery? He's the Highlander?
Who's Sean Connery?
No, I'm saying who's Sean Connery?
No, he's like the mentor of the Highlander, but he's also an immortal.
Oh, no shit.
He comes from Scotland, and he knows. I think he knows that he's like. He doesn't want. Some people don't want to fight; they just know the game.
Yeah.
Right. Then that's I think how the Highlander works. Yeah. Right.
He doesn't want the power.
He doesn't want the power. He's not going around trying to do it. He just does. He's just.
So wait. So you're saying by killing these people that it makes you more powerful?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what happens if you become the most powerful Highlander?
then you win the game, whatever game that was.
Oh, I see.
And they were like, there could be only one. That was the saying, right? There could be only one.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
What the fuck? How come I've never heard of this fucking show? This is amazing.
No,
I've never seen this.
It's a movie that became a TV show, and it had a multiple.
When did the movie come out?
Early 80s.
Yeah, early 80s.
Wow, no shit.
84-ish.
I didn't know it was a movie until I was watching the TV show. It was on some random channel.
I feel like if you look up Highlander on Netflix, it's like some gay ass thing where like some dude goes back in time in ancient Scotland, some shit. And
well, there's no time travel. I mean,
no time travel.
So it's not related. It's not related to that.
But they have a lot of flashbacks because this guy's lived for like 2,000 years. Yeah. You know, for the Highlander.
Who's the oldest Highlander in the thing?
Well, Sean Connery was around longer before that, I guess, right?
Wow. So he's like from ancient times, right?
Yeah. You don't really know where he comes from. It's like from old Egypt or like before that.
Yeah.
Wow, no shit.
So there's been a handful of people who've been for thousands.
Plus, you love history. Like that's for this movie's for you.
Yeah.
Well, I love violence and I love history and chopping people's heads off.
Yeah.
You have to watch Highlander.
He said violence and chopping people's heads. He didn't say history.
No, violence is one thing, but chopping people's heads off is a totally specific category.
Yeah, it is.
To me, this is so funny.
Talking about chopping, do you know this manga called Lupin?
I've heard of it.
So it's based on this French character who's a thief. But in the Japanese version, they did a cartoon, and one of the friends of the group of thieves they're like a gang, I guess. And one of the guys is always dressed in traditional Japanese clothes, and he has a katana, and he just goes around chopping everything with the katana.
Sure.
But like he just go nuts in the countryside and just chop entire trees off. And I was obsessed as a kid. I was like, dude, I want that fucking sword. I just have fantasies. They're just going around just like chopping shit. Not people, but just like the idea of just like everything got like.
When I was a kid, that's what me too. And when I was a kid, I get to go to Puerto Rico every year for like a month or so.
Or you could do it.
And I had them. Yeah, they just go here's a machete and go chop some shit down.
They go have fun.
Yeah. Well, they say they'd be careful, but they needed it cleared anyway. So I'm just stop for no reason, being like,
That's amazing.
Oh, it's amazing. It's so fun.
Oh, that's so sick.
Cutting shit is amazing.
Yeah, it's great. Let's talk about setting things on fire.
Another little childhood.
In my village, all around Catalonia.
Yeah.
So on the northeastern part of Spain.
Basque territory.
No, Catalan territory.
Right.
Basque is central north. This is northeast.
Gotcha.
You have every year, every village has their annual celebrations, as they do almost in any other place in the world. And then they do a thing called correfoc. Corre means correfoc.
Yeah.
Corre means run.
Okay.
Foc means FOC with an accent. Foc means fire.
Oh.
Okay, so what?
It's run fire.
Run fire.
That's the name of the thing.
Wow.
And it's when now they've kind of like, because of health and safety, blah 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 blah. But when I was a kid, so people dress as demons.
Yep.
Fun. They have tridents.
Fireworks.
They put fireworks on the fucking fucking tridents. You have a guy. They have a huge dragon like made out of like paper mache or whatever,
sure.
with spikes and shit and more fireworks, and they just chase the shit out of you down the streets, dude.
Wow.
Fireworks.
I mean, it's voluntary, and they're just like running, and then they stop around, and then
how do you win, or how do you?
You don't win. You just have fun.
There's
just fire everywhere. It's amazing.
So
just like sparks all around.
Who gets to be the fucking trident guys?
A bunch of my friends ended up being that. Like when you're older, if you live there, you say you want to join, you join.
Wow.
It's like there's different like cliques for different traditional activities. Other people do other shit like for the celebrations.
So basically, you attach bottle rockets to these tridents and shoot them.
Yeah, but the thing was, anyways, this whole thing was amazing. I had a lot of fun. And then what we do is at the end of the thing, you would redo the whole circuit, finding all the ones that didn't blow up.
Wow.
And then we'd play with them the following day, just blowing the shit out of bottles, and it's like because they got the industrial ones that we couldn't buy at a shop because we bought the little ones. But then it was like, oh, that's a big one. Oh, and here's a Coke bottle. Chink.
Yeah.
Dude.
So
we used to take rubbing alcohol and chlorine and put that together in a 2-liter bottle of soda. I mean, like empty, an empty 2-liter.
Okay.
And the chemical reaction would expand and blow it up.
The bottle.
The bottle, but a big explosion.
Yeah, it would sound like a...
It would blow up. It would be like an M80. Like we'd blow up mailboxes, people's mailboxes with it consistently.
Wow.
We'd constantly be stealing people's, like, families' chlorine tablets. You break it up and then you throw it, put it in, shake it up.
I've never done that.
And just run.
I've never done that. I know. I'm familiar with that. I don't know if I had like aerosol type shit, like paint thinner, or spray paint, or even one time I took WD-40, right? And that's super flammable. So I put WD-40 in a bucket, and then I put and then I put like paint thinner. I don't know. I put a bunch of shit, like really flammable shit, like submerged it in there, and then I lit a fire. I lit a fuse like a fucking top, like a fuse made of cloth or some shit.
Where were you?
It's in my backyard.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I was in my neighbor's backyard actually.
Okay.
It was crazier. But it was right next door, and so like it was me and we're like the nearest house is like, you know, maybe twice the distance to the balcony. Like that
40,
times
40
two.
meters,
It's not that far. And
meters.
I'm between three. It's in the backyard between three houses. And I'm in the backyard with all my friends, and we're fucking idiots. It was like I remember putting the bucket down and lighting the fuse and running to my house and looking over like a fucking cart, like the fucking little rascals, right?
Yeah.
And I see like the bucket caught on fire, like, you know, it's burning, like there's fire going on inside the bucket, right? And then I guess it heated up the can of WD-40, and then it was just boom! It was just a massive.
But sprayed everything else.
A massive. It was kind of far, yeah, but it was just a massive.
Anything?
No, but like it shook the neighborhood, and then a car alarm went off, and it was like it shook the fucking neighborhood up.
Did they
And
go
no, my grandma fucking. You know what my grandma did? She's like my grandma. She what did she do? She called me, and she's like, "What was that noise?" She came outside. She's like, "What was that?"
I don't know.
I used to take my dad's car. We called it a crapmobile because he was just trying to make real money, but he just didn't know how to spend it on good quality shit, right? And he had bought this brown. It was like this European garbage thing. That was between a minivan and a.
What was it?
I don't know the name of it. Some weird. It was like a brand that I'd never even heard of.
A Saab or something?
I don't know. I would have remembered it. I promise you. It's one.
What was the shape of it?
It's a really obscure.
Really obscure.
Oh,
what's the shape?
And it was like this smaller
Alfa Romeo?
No. I would have remembered that too. But it was like
It's obscure.
It looked like a smaller minivan, but it wasn't a wagon.
Citroen.
Maybe.
No.
With two chevrons?
How, was it an old car?
A Daewoo?
Older. I don't, dude. Oh, anyway, this is the point. It's not.
What
That's
year
not
was
the
it?
point. It's a shitty car. Let's just because we're harping on something unimportant. I would just take it out. My parents were divorcing, and I had an ability.
Did it look like this?
No, it was just the shield came down like that. You know.
Oh.
Right. So but
was it the Mr. Bean? Was it like a Mr. Bean looking car?
I'll look it up.
The shield came up like this?
The windshield was like you know how minivans was.
Yeah.
No, but it wasn't. It was all boxy. It was still kind of boxy and jagged.
I know.
Kind of boxy and jagged. It was also brown, and the steering wheel was really thin, and the shift gear was really weird, and almost like that. But it's honestly not as round. Anyway, that's not the point. Nobody's even seeing these pictures. The point is, I was like 15.
Yeah,
I was like I was like 14 doing this. My parents weren't around, and then my sisters found out. So I just bought them some snacks from 7-Eleven or whatever to shut them up. And I was just driving to my friend's house, driving to basketball. I knew I had a couple hours. I had like 4 or 5 hours before any grown-up was around.
Shit.
And then that ended because my sisters started taking out the cars. One was 2 years younger than me. One was 4 years younger than me. So that means my 10-year-old sister started just going out joyriding this car with her friends.
Wow.
And I don't know how many times she got away with it, but she got caught when she just drove through somebody's house.
Are you serious?
Just straight drove into somebody's house. Like 10-year-olds. Imagine 2 10-year-olds drove right into some dude's living room.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
And I never got in trouble for. They never ratted me out for because they were the ones taking out the car. Yeah, fuck yeah, she's a 10-year-old driving a car. Yeah, I mean, not police or anything. You know,
what happened to the house?
My dad has insurance. He was an insurance guy, so it was all fully taken care of. And
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
But
that's what happens when you're insurance. When you're in an insurance family, you got fucking.
Insurance works for
you can live life on the edge, dude.
His insurance skyrocketed.
Yeah.
You still get charged and stuff like that. But the nice thing was they wouldn't drop him, right? Because anybody else would have dropped him, right? And then she didn't even have a driving record or anything like that. I mean, even if she did, if it stayed on her record for 5 years, she still wouldn't get a license. You know, she's 50, she's 10. whatever it was.
Jesus Christ.
Awesome, man. Well, that'll do it for tonight. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, guys. We appreciate it. If you like what we got, please come back, watch some more, and feel free to subscribe.
Hit our Patreon.
Hit the bell button. Hit the
notifications.
Totally.
Make comments. Make comments.
Yeah, man. Give us traffic. We thank you for giving us your time and your support. Fucking love you guys. Have a nice day, man. We'll see you again next time.
Bye.
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 Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your support.